All you people from the older generation need to keep your mouths shut about the younger generation. I hear you all on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and everywhere saying how the younger generation is lazy. Bullshit. Me and my dad had this argument years ago. I'm talking about back when I was about 35 years old. My dad came at me sideways one time. We were having a discussion, and he said, well, by the time I was your age, I already owned my house. And I said, yeah, that's only because back when you were, before you were my age, your house payment was only $75 a month, and you only paid $24,000 for your house. Have you priced a house nowadays, Dad? I was an administrator for an internet company and working 2 part-time jobs on top of that, trying to raise a kid on my own and pay all the bills. And kids are expensive. Yeah, wasn't one of my 3 jobs had health insurance, so every time we got sick, we had to pay to go to the doctor's office. And we had to pay for the prescriptions and pay for the office visits and all that shit. My kid had to have braces to the tune of about $18,000. And we didn't get raises in minimum wage. Price of everything just kept going up and up and up and up and up, and we had to beg our bosses for a fucking raise. I went to my boss and said, dude, I've got to have a raise because I'm barely keeping my head above the water. Well, you're going to have to show me you can do more for the company, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And then I went to school, night school. Took my night classes, got all my goddamn papers. And then I walked into his office and slapped the papers on his desk and said, I can bring all of this to the table now. And he went, okay, I'll give you a raise. I swear to God, I survived that year on like 2 hours of sleep a night. Yeah, it wasn't easy. But now you guys are telling the younger generation that they're lazy, quiet quitting. Well, what do you mean quiet quitting? They're doing their job. You just want them to go above and beyond and do all this other extra shit for no extra pay. And that's horseshit. Some of these bosses are telling their people that they got to get there an hour early and they can't clock in. They just got to do the paperwork and get everything ready for the day's work. They got to be there at like 7 o'clock and they start at 8, that they want them to get the paperwork done and get the trucks loaded. So when the time comes for starting time, they could just get in the truck and drive off down the road. Fuck no. They should pay you from the time you enter the building. You should clock in. If they would have tried that shit with me back in the day, I wouldn't have quiet quit. I'd have quit out loud. Hey, Colbert, you need to come in and do your paperwork and get your truck loaded before you punch in at 8 o'clock. Hell no. And there's not a damn person from the older generation that's sitting out there watching this video that would have agreed to that. And you damn well know I'm right. You wouldn't have just said, oh, sure, I'll come in and do all this extra work before work. No. No, you wouldn't either.